Here in our brand folder, we have an asset that is pending approval. If we look at the attachment, we can see that there's an annotation that's been left asking to increase the brightness. As a designer, I could jump into Photoshop, and with Brandfolder's advanced Adobe Creative Cloud connection, I now have a panel into the assets I have access to inside of Brandfolder. This is search enabled. I could choose by collection, and then I can also switch my brand folders that I have access to here at the top. From here, I could go ahead and open that image that somebody annotated, and they wanted to make it brighter, so let's just make a quick level change here. Just make that a little brighter. Now if we save that change, we see that this image is now out of sync with the brand folder indicated by this icon. Now I have two options. I can go ahead and update it back into the brand folder. So I just opened an image inside Photoshop, edited it, and then made a change back into brand folder without ever leaving Photoshop, which is a great workflow tool for a designer. My other option would be to upload a new asset altogether, which could be useful if this was a working file and now it's been exported into a final photo. I can then give it a name, a description, and choose what section it should go into. Now if we hop back into the brand folder, into this attachment, we'll go ahead and refresh our screen here, and this may be re-thumbnailing. We can see that these assets are pending as well, so this might be an approval step that works in context of Brandfolder's approval workflow. Now if we go back over to the workflow tab and click that, we can now see this new version I uploaded as the latest version, and we can actually see it on the version timeline in context of the previously annotated version. If we needed to perhaps restore the older version, we could always do that with admin access, and we can see that this was just updated by me. So it happens pretty quickly in real time directly from Photoshop. Now our Creative Cloud integration also works in Illustrator and InDesign. Couple cool functionalities here. Over in InDesign, we can see that we actually have the wrong logo in this layout. So maybe we want to go ahead and update that with our brand folder logo, since this is a brand folder one sheet. So I just placed that right from the panel into the InDesign doc. We see that it automatically adjusted to the set parameters of this place, so I wouldn't have to drop it on the stage and then resize it, for instance, which is a really nice templating use case. And now this is the AI file that I've placed from Linker. If I go over into my Illustrator app and actually made a change to that same AI file, so I'm just going to open that inside Illustrator. Let's say we're going through some rebrand and we need to actually adjust the color of our logo. So maybe we're going to go with this deeper blue for our new rebrand, and let's actually do that right here. Now we've updated that, and we can go ahead and save that file. We see that it's out of sync. This will actually sync across our Creative Cloud apps. So now I'm updating this back into the brand folder. That will re-thumbnail here in a second. But if I go back over into my InDesign layout now, I can see that it just refreshed and I have an error. And that error is telling me I have a link out of sync. Now that is actually syncing from that file that I pushed back into Brandfolder, and because I placed it through our plugin, it's going to keep the link in sync. All I have to do is double click it, and we now see that updated version come through. Without ever having to actually go into the Brandfolder application through a browser, we were able to update that InDesign document. And let's say you had that same logo placed across several ones. All you would have to do is open them inside InDesign and update them just like I just did. So the advanced Adobe Creative Cloud integration supports bi-directional syncing. It syncs across the Creative Cloud apps. It's a great addition to Brandfolder's suite of workflow options, and it can really enhance and make the Brandfolder sticky with your design team.